recording button, and now we're recording. So welcome everybody to today's webinar, where we're going to talk about 3 formulas for generating 3 to 6 transactions every single month, right, in your real estate practice. 3 to 6 transactions. Now, they won't all be listings, but we're going to focus on short sales right now because it's a good time to be focusing on short sales. That's what's going on out there. So I see that people are continuing to arrive and sort of log into the room as I get started, and that's okay. If you're just getting here, you haven't missed anything yet. But we're all real estate professionals, and this morning or this afternoon, if it's your lunchtime for you on the East Coast, you know, you're taking some free time to invest in your practice, invest in your skill set, and improve. I'm going to give you guys good stuff. Nobody's going to waste any time here with me today. When you leave here, you're going to say, wow, that was a great hour, you know, in 10 minutes or so invested in my career. I'm glad I did that. That's my intention, and that's my only intention. So with that, let's get diving into this stuff. Let's talk about the 3 formulas for generating 3 to 6 transactions every single month. And before we do that, let me just really briefly introduce myself. My name is Chris Silveda. I'm a realtor just like you. Had a real estate license for a lot of years, although I haven't used it in the last couple because I've just, you know, choose not to. This is my full-time career, is working with real estate agents across the country, specifically on you know, pursuing short sale listings. And although I just took a nice little $1 million listing about 2 weeks ago because, you know, it was one I couldn't refer out, so I'm back in the game. And it's not a short sale, believe it or not. It got some equity in it. So if anybody knows anybody looking for a lovely 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in Solana Beach right on the lagoon for about $1,050,000, let me know after the webinar. Okay, but I want you to know, I know what you do, and before I began my real estate career, I traveled around the country for about 8 years with a guy by the name of Joe Stumpf. I was literally his right-hand man. I started out as his suitcase shucker. You know, I'd get him in and out of airports, checked into hotels, set up his half-day seminars, tear him down, send the money back to San Diego, you know, get him to the airport and get on the plane with him and go to the next city, you know, for years. Eventually, I became the main event coordinator, and I became his behind-the-scenes guy, and then I became a trainer. And he said, hey, Chris, you're going to go out and do this stuff for me. I'm going to stay home and golf. And I started flying around the country training his mastery members in his systems. So that's my background, and that's my story. I'm going to just stick to it, and I'm going to leave it at that. So just know that I know what you do, okay? So with that, let's talk about how to go get 3 to 6 transactions every single month in your real estate practice right now with a focus on short sale listings. All right, so first we're going to talk about system number 1, or formula number 1. I call it the 30-50-30 system, and it's going to be good for 2 deals a month on average. Could be better, you know, depending if you're down in Florida, it could do more than that, right? But the 30-50-30 system is pretty darn reliable, right? And depending on the strength of your 50, it'll produce more. All right, the second system we're going to talk about is the 50-30 NOD system, and if you're in Florida, I'm just going to call that list pendings, okay, the default properties. And they don't have to be notice of defaults already been served. It could be 30-day late, 60-day late, 90-day late, but we'll call it the 50-30 default property system. That's going to be good for 2 deals a month. Well, in Sacramento, in Orange County, in Southern California, right, in Florida. If you're in, you know, Louisville, maybe not, I don't know. Okay, and then the third system we're going to talk about is concentrated leverage, which is going to be good for another 1 to 3 deals a month. All right, but we're going to start out talking about the 30-50-30 system. All right, so one thing everybody needs to understand on this webinar right now is real estate professionals who seeking short sale listings, right? Short sale listings are great. They're listings. They close escrow, you get paid the same amount of money. And you're not negotiating those files yourself. I hope you're using somebody like a loss mitigation network or some loss mit person or escrow company or title company that handles that stuff for you, right? You just go on listing appointment, get the listing, put the house on the market, you know, get it marketed, negotiate the offers when they come in, and then turn that off to somebody else, right? Go get another one. Don't get into playing on the phone with Bank of America. That's just my advice. So right now, millions of upside-down property owners are coming to the realization, if they haven't yet, if they're going to find out about it real quick, that they're going to have to do something by December 31st, 2012 in these non-recourse states like California, Florida, right? Because on December 31st, 2012, the legislation that allows them to escape any sort of deficiency judgment expires. right? It doesn't mean it won't be reextended, but that's a conversation that these people who have been camping out in their houses thinking I'm going to stay here for the next 2 years until the bank kicks me out, well, you know, that might be coming to an end. So you just need to be aware of that right now as a marketer with a real estate license, right? Okay, so warning, taking that information and getting too excited, right, can cause you a lot of trouble. In other words, racing to the printer to mail off a bunch of postcards and letters to people who don't know you, don't like you, and don't trust you is a great way to waste a lot of money, right? So we are at a unique time right now in real estate sort of history because there are a lot of people out there who need to sell. They need to sell, and their names and addresses are on lists. Think about that. 7 years ago, can you imagine if you could have got lists and with names and addresses of people who needed to sell their house and you were the only one? You would have gone insane knocking on doors, grabbing those people because, they weren't short sale listings, right? And now it's like, oh, it's a short sale. I don't want to do that. Are you crazy? You get paid the same amount of money, less work. They don't argue about the commission. They don't argue about any of that stuff. So their names are on lists, but, don't go crazy yet, right? Because that's not the first thing we're going to talk about. All right, we're going to talk about something else first. When you think listings, don't think internet, all right, but instead think relationships. Here's what I mean by that. I have agents that call me up all the time and they go, well, does your website convert? Does it get lit? No. You're not going to get a listing from a website. Forget about trying. If you're sitting there in your office hiding behind your computer trying to generate a listing from your website, you're not in real estate. You're just a person hanging out in an office behind a computer trying to do something that, you might as well try and land your smartphone on the moon. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Right? That's not where listings come from. That's where buyers come from. Like agents who don't like to go out and get in relationship and be in relationship with people, because they're grumpy and they're burned out on the business and they forgot the service mindset and they just see real estate as a transactional-based business now and there's no joy left in it. They just want to sit behind their computer and play on Craigslist and generate buyer leads. You can do that all day long, right? And that business will make you that way. But that's not where listings come from. So if you want to talk to me about listings, we're not going to talk about Google AdWords. We're not going to talk about Facebook pay-per-click ads, right? Because that's hide. That's called hide, go, don't do anything, have listings come to me. That doesn't work, right? And if you think it does, ask yourself how many listings you got last year from Google AdWords, Facebook campaigns. You didn't, right? You didn't. You got buyers. And you might get a listing from your website now and again, but it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. In fact, it's such an anomaly that it's like, why would you go looking for a listing from your website, from any kind of a website? That's like going down to the end of the forest where, yeah, every 100th tree might have a piece of fruit hanging on it. Why would you do that when just over the hill, the trees are loaded with apples right now, right? So when you think listings, don't think internet. Instead, think relationships. Okay, and instead, when you think about listings, and even greater than that, when you think about real estate as a whole, it's all about who you know and who do they know, right? It's all about relationships. Who do you know today? Who do you know in your county? Who do you know and who do they know? Think about it. If you only know 10 people in your county, think about all the people that those 10 people know in your county, right? And think about if you could get the 10 people you know to tell all the people that they know, hey, I know this guy, I know this gal, she's awesome. If you guys know more, you're stuck on your house, you need to talk to her. In fact, sit down, I'm going to call her up right now, you've got to meet her. Right? Don't you wish they would do that for you? Right? They will. They can. Okay, so never forget the following well-documented listing getting facts before I get into this first system with you guys. Okay, the number one source of listings, this isn't me making this up, you guys know this is true. Right? This is from the National Association of Realtors, which doesn't make it true, but you already know it's true from your own experience. The number one source of listings is people who already know you and like you, right? That hasn't changed. Okay. The number two source of listings is referrals from the people who already know you and like you. Okay. That's always been the case, and it always will be the case. Okay. Number one is people who know you and like you. That's never going to change. That's where listings are going to come from for you. Number two, it's going to come from referrals from the people who know you and like you. Number 3, the third source of listings, a stranger discovers you in what they consider to be a credible or reliable source of information. Okay, they saw a neighborhood yard sign, newsletter, or some other source, right? And they deemed it to be credible. And hey, this looks credible, and this looks real, right? I like what I see. That's the third source. All right. So notice that mailing to strangers on notice of default list pendings doesn't make the top 3 list, right? We're going to talk about them because I'm going to show you how to go get 2 of them every single month reliably for no money, right? But we're not going to talk about them first because they're not on the list yet. Okay, so let's get to work building a long-term, highly profitable real estate practice, right? And here's what we all need to do if we haven't already, and you'll know this. It'll resonate. And through the marrow of your bones, it'll have the ring of truth. Okay, create prospecting groups. Okay, create prospecting groups. So let's talk about the group on the left. I'm going to call that your A team. Those who know you, right? Past clients, friends, family, dentist, chiropractor, soccer coach, neighbor, right? The neighbor across the street, people who know you. Your dry cleaner. You don't have to know their name, but they see you all the time. They know your face. If they saw you in the street, hey, how are you? They'd nod and say hi. If you saw them in the same restaurant, hey, good to see you guys, right? That could be your A team. Think about this as a real estate agent. Your friends, I bet your friends wonder how you get business because I bet they say to themselves, I wonder how do you do real estate? How does she? Because I don't hear from her. She doesn't ask me, right? Who's she asking? Where's she getting business from, right? Then I don't hear from her. Think about that. Your friends, they wonder what you do. How do you go get real estate, right? Oh, yeah, I go do this complicated mix of stuff all day long. It's confused. Oh, okay. Right. They don't know, and that's your problem. So creating prospecting groups, the first and most important group that all of us should ever create when we get into real estate is our A team. Okay, our A team. And let's aim for 50 of them, okay? All right. The second group is your B team, and those are people who don't know you. They've never heard of you before. Those are 30, 60, 90-day late lists, right? Divorce, you can go get divorce lists. People are getting divorced. You want to mail to them. You know there's going to be a real estate deal there probably. Geographic farm areas, they don't know you, right? Strangers. So create prospecting groups that you're going to market to. It's not wake up every day and say, what am I going to do today behind my computer on Craigslist? No, the same people need to be hearing from you again and 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 again. Right? It's not a whole bunch of people hear from me once, didn't get anything from them. Now I'm going to go find a whole bunch of other strangers and didn't get anything from them. Let me go over to this group of strangers. Didn't get anything from them. That's not marketing. Right? Marketing is continuous drip on a continuous group. And the first and most important group is Team A, right? Those who know you. So let's talk about the 30-50-30 formula. You can reliably expect, right? And how can you reliably expect? We'll talk about it. You can reliably expect that sending 3 intentional communications to 50 A-team members every 30 days, asking for help in the right way will generate 2 solid referrals a month. 50 people who know you already. They know you and they like you, right? You can reliably expect that sending 3 intentional communications to those people, 50 people, A-team, every 30 days, so once a month, asking them for help. Not a balloon, not a card with a picture on it. That's not, what does that mean? What is this? Why is there a picture of you on this card with a thing about how to wrap my water heater? I don't even, what? I live in Southern California. I don't even know how to wrap a water heater. That's not asking, that's not purposeful. That's a communication, but it's not very intentional or on purpose, right? So 3 intentional communications, we're going to look at those, right? A month, you're going to get 2 deals. You may get more. I'm going to tell you, I know a realtor right here in San Diego, California, where I'm at, 49 people, right? 49 people, 29 transactions last year, right? 29 transactions last year. 49 people that she stays connected to in a real solid way, and I'll show you what that looks like. We're talking about that right now, in fact, the 30-50-30 formula. So your A-team, monthly communication number 1. How would you communicate to your A-team 3 different ways that are powerful, right? Well, a well-designed direct response newsletter is a great tool to send to your past clients and your sphere of influence list on a monthly basis. And so some profitable ones you guys can go look up afterwards, and there's others, right? The Welcome Mat by Simple Listing Solutions. That's my company. I put out one called the Welcome Mat. Service for Life, Craig Forte. A lot of realtors swear by it, and I've talked to them. They say, Chris, every month I send it out, and it makes me money. I believe you. By referral only, Joe Stump. He makes a great direct response newsletter, right? And if you just go onto Google and you type realtor newsletter, you'll find them. There's a lot of junk out there. But these three right here, I think, are the best on the market. And that one that I make right there, the Welcome Mat, well, I'm a little biased, but I think for right now, it is the most timely and best direct response newsletter you can get. But that's just my opinion. So a direct response newsletter, great, because it's made for you, and every month, boom, to your A team. They're getting it. Now they don't have to ask themselves, I wonder how Chris gets all that. I wonder how do you do real estate? How does Chris get his business? He never asks us. Now they don't have to ask that question. They go, oh, he's a professional. I hear from Chris every month. He's a pro. Your friends aren't wondering, right? So here's just a close look at the one I put together. When I say direct response newsletter, here's what I mean. Here's the May edition for this month of the Welcome Mat. You guys can see the cover back there, but I zoomed in right here. So when I say timely, purposeful, intentional, what does this say? Get a free copy of my book, The Homeowner's Guide to Real Estate Short Sales. Just visit my website, and here's a free book here. So this is a direct response marketing newsletter. You know, that's a sample of one. Here's the back page, right? Do you know friends who are upside down on their home or property? You can help me help them. It's easy and free, right? That's intentional communication that's important today, right? Referrals are the lifeblood of my business. Past clients, friends, neighbors, even friends of friends. They all mix together to provide me a constant flow of new clients, opportunities, and income. Who's this going out to? My A-team. What am I letting the people who already know me and like me know? That their referrals are the lifeblood of my business. They're no longer wondering, hey, real estate's not a mystery. I see what Chris does, right? He just works all the people he knows. Well, yeah, you have to, right? Why would you not do that? They already know you. Okay, so I have you to thank for that. Look at this. I can expertly guide anyone through their loan modification or short sale process, and it's absolutely free. Learn more at my website, right? You need to understand right now that your upside-down homeowner prospects, they don't want to talk about a short sale. You know what they want to talk about? They want to talk about HARP 2.0 government refinance program. They want to talk about a HAMP loan modification. They want to understand what's a deed in lieu, right? And what is a short sale? What are those things? What are all of our options? We want to know. That's where they're at, and you need to be where they're at. And so, you know, I can expertly guide anyone through their loan mod or short sale process. It's easy and it's free. Learn more. Oh, wow, right? So that's a powerful communication to send every single month to the people who know you, right? And you Craig Forte's, like I said, he's got one. By referral, and they got one. And now this one, it folds in half, and the mailing label goes on, and it goes out, but. See, newsletters get engaged with. They're fun. People take them in the house and they read them. It's not, but here's what I want you to understand too. When people go to their mailbox and they see printed material, slick, glossy printed, you know what it means? Mass-produced, generic, right? Mass-produced and generic. And that's important. As a marketer with a real estate license, you need to know that, right? But a newsletter, by its nature, because it arrives every month, once they see what it is, oh, okay, I like it. This is cool. I'll take it in, right? So anyway, that's how those work. So a newsletter is a great monthly communication to send to your A-team once a month for communication number one. Communication, so if that went out at the beginning of the month, right, then in the middle of the month, what would you want to send out? Communication number two, handwritten note cards work great. Or a personal success story typed out on one page on your personal letterhead, right? Like a letter. Those are great ways to ensure your messages get read and appreciated. People very rarely receive handwritten correspondence anymore, and handwritten notes and letters always get looked at first. They get engaged with the most, and they get remembered the longest. So here's a little trick. If you're thinking that you're going to go walk up to a bunch of doors this afternoon and put some information about HARP 2.0 government refinance program that you printed out off the internet, you know, and that they're going to want it, you know, they might want it, but they won't read it. But if you want them to read it, then turn that printed piece of paper that you're going to hand out over and write a big handwritten note that says, hey, dear neighbor, there's some important stuff here about how you can refinance the HARP 2.0 government refi program that may apply to you. Seriously, check it out. Jill, C21, right? Then they'll read that. They'll go, what's this note that somebody wrote to me? They'll read that. And then they'll say, huh? Then they'll turn it over and read your printed information, right? But if you just go put printed information on their door, trash. So just know that, right? That's already, I'm not making that up. All right, so handwritten note card. And so purposeful and intentional. What would that sound like? Help! Inventory is skinny right now and I need listings. Who do you know that's planning to sell in the next 6 to 12 months? Even if they owe more than their home is worth, I can help them. What can we do together to let them know about my services? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jill, C20, right? Who's that little handwritten note card going out to? 50 people who know you, like you, and trust you in the middle of the month, 2 weeks after they got your newsletter, right? Now those people, they're not wondering how real estate works. They're going, whoa, she's good, right? Jill's good. I know this realtor. She's good. You guys see how this works? To the same group, right? So a little post-it, little note card, right? Hey, friends, let's zoom in on this. Hey, friends, right now I'm working with some great buyer clients who are frustrated with the lack of inventory and the fierce competition for any decent 3-bedroom homes in San Diego under $550,000. I could really use your help finding inventory. I know you know someone who's either thinking about or planning on selling their home in the next 6 to 12 months, and I'm curious what we can do together to let them know about my services and how I can help. Also, I've got an amazing loss mitigation team behind me, so if they owe more than their home is worth and they want to sell it for free to avoid a foreclosure, I can definitely help. Thanks for not keeping me a secret, right? That's the kind of little handwritten note card, right? Communication number 3, pick up the phone. We're talking 50 people, right? Your A team. Right? 3 communications a month, right? Communication number 1, your newsletter goes out at the beginning of the month, and they go, wow, this is great. And it reminds them of the fact that, hey, you're great. You got all these things that they can get. Craig Forte, he doesn't have a book, and Joe doesn't have a book, but they've got, free reports and things, right? And they go, oh, okay, good, right? And then in the middle of the month, they get that little, oh, inventory, yeah, hey, who do we know, right? And then they get a phone call from you once a month, and it's short. Hey, Jill, how's it going? Hey, listen, this is just a quick check-in with you guys. How's the house? How's things over there? I know you've got a birthday coming up next month. Is Bob going to take you on an exotic trip? Yeah, right. Well, anyway, listen, I just was curious who the next person you know who might be thinking about buying or selling. They may not come to mind right now, but they probably will when we hang up the phone. And would you just think about not keeping me a secret if you know someone out? Oh, yeah, hey, it's always right. That's what I'm doing. You guys could cold call strangers if you want, but why would you do that? Why don't you call people who already know you? They'll answer the phone, right? And at first it might be awkward getting a phone call from you because they don't know you that well, but they go, who's this? Yeah, this is Chris. I come into your dry cleaning place like once a month, and I'm a surfer guy, short. I look a lot like George Clooney, and a mix between him and that other handsome movie star guy. Oh yeah, they start laughing. Yeah, you. Yeah. Hey, listen, you've been getting my newsletter. Right. So it's a phone call, right? And that might not have been the best example, but 3 communications a month, right? Deliver 3 purposeful communications to your A team every 30 days for 2 deals a month, right? That's what you're going to get from them. You may get more, right? You may get more. And so newsletter is a great one, handwritten note, right? In the middle of the month, phone call. You ought to be doing that with your people every month. So if you only have 10 people on that list, start today. Build your A-team list and make sure they're hearing from you 3 times a month, right? That's what a professional real estate consultant would do. All right. So that's system number 1. System number 2, the 50-30 NOD system, or your default properties. Here's what we need to understand. I said this in the beginning of this webinar. Listings come from relationships. Buyers can come from the internet, hanging out behind, the computer playing on Craigslist, syndicating ads all day, and driving them to a website where they can go search for homes and give you the wrong email address. And you know that game. You can do that, right? You can go do that for buyers, but that's not where a seller comes from. Sellers come from relationships. Remember, number 1, they come from people who already know you and like you. Number 2, they're referred from the people who already know you and like you. Right? And so relationships, let me tell you what's going on right now out in your marketplace in the world. The real estate agents who are getting listings from strangers on NOD lists, okay, let me repeat myself. The real estate agents who are getting listings from strangers on list pendings or NOD 30, 60, 90-day late lists are the real estate agents who are going up to the door and knocking on it. All right, think about this. You could have the best marketing piece in the world that you're going to send them. You could have a really great letter. Remember what I just told you about letters, right? So you could have a really great handwritten letter, right? And you could say, hey, I'm no fool. I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to put it in a little square envelope like a birthday card comes in, right? And I'm going to send out a handwritten letter with a stamp, and I'll get them all opened, right? And I'll have a way better response rate than all the realtors who are just sending out CDPE postcards, right? So that slick printed stuff that they're throwing away. Right? So think about, you've got the best piece now. You've got a great piece that you're going to mail. All right, well, here's what it looks like to the NOD, to the 30, 60-day, 90-day upside-down homeowner. Think about them like this. I talk about these people, I call them short sale salmon. There's short sale salmon out there, and there's loan modification minnows. Right? That's what's running right now, short sale salmon and loan mod minnows. And 10 out of 10 short sale salmon, they begin their life as a loan mod minnow. Right? And then the loan mod minnows, they either die or they evolve into a short sale salmon. So I want you to imagine right now, down in Florida, I like to dive, and I've got a friend who used to go down there a lot, and he says, Chris, boy, you get out in the Gulf Stream and the water, it's more clear than clear. It's like gin. It's like gin clear. It's just like, 100 feet deep, you can see a little starfish sitting on the bottom. It's just crystal clear, right? So I want you guys to imagine right now, we're going out there and we're looking for a short sale salmon in really crystal clear water. And you're underwater right now, and you can see him. He's just sitting over there, floating in the water column, not really swimming. He's just sitting there looking around. And you hear this zzz, and somebody casts out a lure. It's that perfect letter, right? It's the perfect piece that you think you're going to send in the mail. And you're reeling it in, and you see him, oh, look, he's looking at it. He's looking at it. And that salmon, he looks, and he sees your thing going by, and he gets a little bit excited. He moves his tail a little bit, but then he just sits there and he watches it go by. And you're like, oh, he saw it. Oh, let me cast it again. Bzzz. You keep doing that, changing the lure, right? You can do that. That's what mail is. Maybe once in a while he'll strike on it, right? But you know what the door knocker does? The door knocker just walks up and sticks the hook in his mouth and closes his mouth. It's like, I'm not going to sit here all day and cast this thing through your mailbox. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to walk up and stick it in your mouth. That's door knocking. Okay, so establish, and because guess what? You know what you do at the door when you're talking to somebody? You're creating a relationship. Relationships get created at the door, not through a mailbox, right? Relationships get created face-to-face. And to get a listing, there has to be a relationship, right? So establishing face-to-face contact and creating a relationship at the door. Now, if you're not a door knocker, you can ignore this section, but I wouldn't, right? Establishing face-to-face contact and creating a relationship at the door by specifically targeting and knocking on the doors of 50 upside down and late homeowners, right, every 30 days. Now, the problem you're going to run into is you're going to go knock on the door and they're not going to be there, right? And so it takes, on average, 1 to 5 visits until you're going to get the person at the front door, right? That's what it's going to take. That's why I chunk it down, 50 properties every 30 days. That gives you time, 1 to 5 visits. I'm going to focus on these 50 properties until I have engagement, until I meet them face-to-face, right, every 30 days. And then when I meet them face-to-face, I'm going to provide information that the prospect perceives as relevant and valuable, that positions me as a knowledgeable expert who can educate and guide them through all of their options, including HARP, HAMP, HAFA, deed in lieu, all that stuff, right? I'm not breathing commission, hey, you know what, I'm a short sale expert and I can short sell your house and blah. No, we're working on a loan mod. We're a loan mod. Then I'll go away, thank you. I don't do that, right? So, again, the 50-30 system, 2 deals a month. Right? And I promise you that. And if you're in Florida, you get more than that. Right? 50 new relationships, face-to-face, 50 new relationships created every single month with upside-down homeowners, face-to-face, is going to generate you 2 listings a month on average. Right? Could be more in your neighborhood. Right? This is I'm talking, who turned me on to this system about 6 months ago as an agent in Sacramento. And I thought, you're kidding me, because Sacramento's tough. There's a lot of short sales out there, but it's a tough market. I work with some great agents up there. I know it. He's like, no, Chris is so reliable every month. It's 2 listings a month, sometimes 3, sometimes 1, but the average is 2 listings a month, right? Last year I did 32, but 24 came from that, and I got some referrals, right? And so it's 50 houses a month, right? Every 30 days, 1 to 5 visits. All right. So Tools for effective door knocking, it's so easy. It's so easy. Don't overcomplicate this thing. Your dialogue skills are everything. And here's the thing about dialogue skills. You're at your natural best when you're relaxed. And you're relaxed when you know what you're talking about and you're focused on giving instead of getting, right? If you know what you're talking about and you're focused on giving something of real value that you know they need as opposed to getting something from them, it's very easy, right? It's very easy. It takes a little bit of practice, but it just gets really easy real quick. So your dialogue skills are everything, and you're at your natural best when you're relaxed, you know what you're talking about, and you're focused on giving something of real value. All right, so face-to-face intros every 30 days, 2 listings on average. Look, these are all brand new people that you didn't know that have to sell their house. You guys think about it. If you meet face-to-face and talk to 50 people every month face-to-face that have to sell their house, that's a real estate practice. Right? If you sit in your office and muck around on Facebook and YouTube and Google and Craigslist, you're not getting anywhere, right? You're not getting anywhere. So have great dialogue, offering to assist them with understanding all of their options, right? You guys got that. HARP 2.0, the government refi program, HAMP, HAFA, deed in lieu. Plus, have a really great sandwich to leave behind. Okay, so you're knocking on the door. You're going to say, hey, I can help you guys out with you, right? And then leave a sandwich behind that they're going to mentally snack on after you leave. All right? Think they might want something like this? Hey, what's that? Well, hey, thanks for asking. It's Homeowner's Guide to Real Estate Short Sales. It's a book I put together. Right? Learn how you can sell your home for less than you owe the bank, avoid foreclosure, save your credit, learn to pay all the sales costs for free. Oh, like if they're a short sale salmon, you think they might want it? Right? How about if they're a loan mod minnow? Homeowner's Guide to Fighting Foreclosure, comprehensive guide include. Now, these are some things that I've done. You can go do something else, but you have to have something of value, right? Go knock on the door. Hey, you guys, I can help you understand all your options. Why would you do that? You don't get paid unless you sell our house, and we don't want to sell our house. Well, that's true. That's true. But I find if I've got a real sort of service-oriented mindset and I help people, they tell people about me, right? And by the way, if your loan mod doesn't work out for you, you're probably going to be looking at a short sale, and I would love to be your Plan B team captain. So let me help you understand how the loan mod works. Oh, okay, we'd appreciate your help, right? So, and by the way, folks, go over to my website, right? You can learn all about the HARP Government 2.0 refinance program, right? You can get all the paperwork you need to request a loan modification through your lender, right? You can learn all about HAMP and HAFA over there. You can find out if you're looking at a deficiency judgment. You can qualify for a HAFA short sale. You can do all this stuff over my website, right? I can help you guys out. I'm not just here to talk about short sales. That's what I do. I specialize in short sales, but I can help you guys with all this stuff. But listen, when the bank won't modify the loan on your upside-down home or investment property, I'll help you avoid foreclosure for free with a short sale. That's what I do. Right. Go listen to Dan Rather, by the way, on the evening news, talk for an hour about how HAMP loan mods aren't working. They're not going anywhere, and why banks don't want to modify your loan. Right? And then my book offer will start to look more attractive all the time. It's a free book. Right? So I'm just showing you guys some tools. So I'm door knocking. Could I give you a few of my cards and ask you to think about who you might know, right? Who could use this information? So I got my REMAX card on the other side, right? If you want to see a balloon, turn it over. But if you want to learn how you can sell your home for less than you owe the bank, avoid foreclosure, save your credit, and learn to pay all the sales costs for free, go over to my website. Get my book. I'd love to send it to you. You guys don't ever have to call me, right? Just read the book. Read my book. You'll know more than 9 out of 10 realtors about, short sales. I promise you. You'll have all the tools you need. You can do it on your own, right? Oh, wow, great. Yeah, let me leave you a few of my cards. Tools, you guys. So if you're door knocking, you want to have a good dialogue, and you want to have some good leave-behind tools, like I say, a sort of sandwich that they're going to mentally dine on after you leave. And by the way, just so you know, because I'm very clear on how these cards work and how my system works, they never go to the website and order the book. Oh, wow, the guy's trying not very hard to sell his website. You know what they do? They go to the website, they look around, they go, yeah, he's got a book, let's call him up. Hey, would you help us sell our house? They don't want to read the book, they're too lazy. 1 out of 10 wants to read the book. 9 out of 10 just want to know that you wrote it. And they go, oh, look, honey, this guy came by this afternoon, and he said that, by December 31st, we may be looking at deficiency judgments. We got to think about what we're going to do. And check it out, he wrote a book on, oh, he did? Oh, well, maybe we should call him. Right? So Editable note cards are great leave-behind tools with a handwritten note, right? Handwritten note on there, the get attention side, right? I've got these little note cards that I've created for my agents right now where they can just pop in their name. So for their 50 people every month, before they go out to the door, they could put in the person's name, right? And they print them on their own printer, right? Two note cards on one piece of paper. So there's 2 of these. The next one would say, Michael, what will you do? Chris, what will you do? They can just print them from their printer and then go out there, right? So if the person's not home, they flip it over and they write a little note on the backside and they leave it at the door. Chris, what will you do? Let the bank foreclose and sell to the highest bidder, or avoid foreclosure with a no-cost short sale? Save your credit, collect a $3,000 move-out allowance, and do your neighbors a big favor by not allowing another unnecessary foreclosure to further erode their home's value. Doing the smart thing is easy with expert help. Take action now before it's too late. Learn how I helped our neighbors avoid foreclosure for free in my brief video made just for you. Watch now, right? Watch now. Oh, what's that about? Well, what it's about is a little squeeze page the prospect is going to go over to, and there's going to be a video of you, the realtor, ideally saying, hey, I'm so glad you arrived here at my page. My name's Chris, and if you owe more in your home than it's worth, you got some options, but there's something that you need to know. And so now they're watching me, right? They can see my face, they can hear my voice, they can practically smell my breath, right? This is a relationship building tool. You see how I'm starting to stir the pot? I want to create relationship because there's no listing until there is one. So I can flip it over and I can write a little handwritten note. Hi, Chris. Stop by to introduce myself and explain how I've been helping our neighbors and how I can help you guys too, for free. Don't let the bank foreclose. Watch my video, right? So when they're not there those days, that's what I'm going to leave, right? Now, this is what a squeeze page looks like. If you guys don't know what a squeeze page is, it's a web page on the internet, right? It's a website that people can go to and they can do things, right? Now, the one that I just talked about, rather than having the book here, the book will be there, but it's going to have a big video right here in the middle of the page where they can just click on the little thing to play, and it'd be you saying, hi, listen, I'm sorry I missed you today, but listen, there's something important that you need to know. On December 31st, 2012, this year, legislation is going to expire that allows you guys to not have a deficiency judgment, you not owe anything if you short sell your house to avoid foreclosure. That's coming. You guys do need to make a decision. And if you're still working on a loan mod or thinking about a loan mod, or you want to learn more about the HARP Government 2.0 refi program or short sales, I can help you and I can answer your question. Right? That's the kind of video you want to have right there. Right? And now you're a door knocker. Right? Now your door knocking is working. You're cranking it up. All right? Make sense, you guys? So 50 strangers who don't know you, don't like you, don't trust you yet, every 30 days, 1 to 5 visits. Right? Have some good dialogue and have a good leave-behind tool. All right, and that's going to be good for 2 listings a month on average. All right, so now we're up to 4. All right, formula number 3 is purposeful communications per month. What are we doing right here? So, So formula number 1 is 3 purposeful communications to your A-team. Right? We covered that. Formula number 2, we just talked about. That's the 30-50-30. That's 50 strangers on a default list every 30 days, 1 to 5 visits for 2 listings. So formula number 3, concentrated leverage. Concentrated leverage. What the heck does that mean? Concentrated leverage, you can all do this for free right now this year, and you will. Now that you're going to leave this webinar, you will, and it's going to add, I'm just giving you guys right now, even if you make very little effort, right, another transaction in the next 12 months just from this next segment. And just because you're going to change your thinking. Okay, concentrated leverage begins by understanding that the purpose of a listing is to get another one, right? And that every buyer prospect is a portal to a whole bunch of relationships that you don't have yet, right? And remember, you're not in real estate, you're in the relationship business. You just happen to have a real estate license, right? You just happen to have a real estate license. And so let me stop right here, a little sidebar. Right. Let me just go back to this last system right here. Anybody out there uncomfortable right now with door knocking? Hey, Chris, it makes me feel like a calculator salesman. Really? Tell that to Steve Lincoln, right? I know a guy right here in Southern California driving around in his 750 BMW IL. He pulls right up in the driveway, leaves the engine running and his car door open, runs up and knocks on their door because he's got the NODs downloaded right to his smartphone. Hey, how's it going, you guys? My name's Steve. Listen, you're upside down in your house. I can help you out. Oh, he's got his car running right there. And he doesn't look like he sells calculators, right? So focusing on the result is the worst way is the worst way to get started, you guys, in anything, whether you're calling expireds, whether you're doing anything. Focusing on the action is the way to build a highly profitable practice, right? The action of door knocking is where the money is going to come from, if that's the route you choose to go, right? The action of calling expireds all morning is where the money's going to come from, if that's the route you choose to go, not the result. But if you're focusing on the result, man, I just made 20 calls in a row and I don't have anything yet. This doesn't work. I'm not going to do it anymore. I quit, right? That's what happens when you focus on the action. On the result. When you focus on the action, like, yeah, I can't wait to make the next call. I'm dialing for dollars. I'm smiling, dialing, right? If that's your thing. Not my thing, but if it is, you focus on the action, right? That's where the business is. It's in the action. Okay, so let's go back to where we were, which was concentrated leverage. All right, understanding the purpose of a listing is to get another one, and that every buyer prospect is a portal to a whole bunch of relationships that you don't have yet. So, number one, drill down into every buyer prospect for one referral during the process. You have to, right? There's a way to do that. It's so easy. I'm going to show you how, right? Immediately add all new buyer prospects to your monthly newsletter list, right? Then now they need to start hearing from you, because you have buyer prospects that come into your life and they leave without buying. Doesn't mean they weren't qualified. It just means they weren't ready. They weren't ready. And guess what? If they're getting your newsletter every month, their first thought is, wow, she's good, he's good. They're following up with us. They're professional. And what you need to know is you're not doing it just to get them back. You're doing it to tap their network, right? They're not just the one person getting your newsletter. They're one person that knows a bunch of people. And when you're sending them the right communication asking for help from their people, you'll get it, right? So immediately add your buyer prospects to your monthly newsletter list. Again, that's why you want to have a monthly newsletter. It's the most powerful tool in real estate. It's like the Swiss Army knife of marketing tools. Every realtor should have a newsletter that goes out every month. Okay, so drilling down with your buyer prospects. So how do you do that? Well, I've got these business cards, right? And again, if you want to see a cool balloon, that's on the other side. But if you want to get a copy of this free book called The Homeowner's Guide to Real Estate Short Sales, that's on this side. And I know this may not apply to you, but I know for a fact that you know people at your work, your church, your health club that they're upside down on their house. And listen, if I gave you a few of my cards and asked you to think about who you might know, you help me not keep my book a secret. I'd love it. And listen, they don't have to call me. They'll read the book, and if they choose to call me, that's great. I'd love to work with them, but they don't have to. Just get them to read the book, and they'll know more than 9 out of 10 so-called experts. Oh wow, thanks, Chris. Right. Right. That's what I'm doing with my buyers. Can I give you a few of these and ask you to think about who you know? Wow, what is this? Tell me more. Okay, well, I'll tell you about it. Right? That's what you want to be doing. So that's your buyers. Leverage your buyers. Drill down. Now, leverage your listings, because the purpose of a listing is to get another one. Leverage your inventory through the Take One box with a purposeful communication to the neighbors on the reverse side of your property flyer. Why? Because they're the ones who are going to come empty your flyer box. The neighborhood homeowners are going to come empty your flyer box every time you take a listing, right? Open house events. The purpose of a listing is to get another one. Invite 100 neighbors, right? Invite them. 100 neighbors. Knock on the door. Invite them to come. And then stage the event to engage. Stage to engage, right? What does that mean? It means when they walk through the front door, hey, how's it going? There's music going. Hey, can I get you guys a cup of coffee? We've got some fresh Pete's coffee brewing in here, Danish and bagels. We've got some orange juice, and we've got some, oh, wow, hey, thanks. This is nice, right? That's what you're doing, right? And then when they're walking around, hey, listen, you guys have any questions? Take a look around of, the half day, look at what they did out in the backyard. When they leave, hey, listen, let me give this to you. What's this? This is a couple of my cards. I know you know people here in our neighborhood who could use this information. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you wrote the book. We saw it on the flyer. Yeah, this is your card. Great. That's what an open house is. Listen, if a buyer shows up and they got a briefcase full of cash and no agent, and they want the house, party over, right? I'll sit down with them. But, the purpose of an open house is to get all the neighborhood homeowners to come over, meet me, greet me, love me, right? And then, hey, can I put you on my newsletter list? Well, why would we want to do that? Well, I'll tell you, it's called the Welcome Mat. Let me show you. I got one over here. Check it out. Hey, it's a good-looking newsletter. Yeah, I put the comps in it for the neighborhood, and, when you let you know what's going on that way. And, information, I'll update you guys on HARP and the government refi program and stuff like that for your little inserts. And sometimes I put coupons in here for free, free yogurts down at, yogurt shop. Oh, okay, yeah, great. Right. That's what I'm doing at my open houses. Leveraging my inventory to get more of it. Right. So, your flyer box is money, okay? Now, you got to have a property flyer out there, right? Why not put a letter on the back side of it, Right, let me show you a closer look at this. Here's how you can sell your home for less than you owe the bank, avoid foreclosure, save your credit, get your lender to pay all the sales costs for free. Oh, wow, what's this? It's called The Homeowner's Guide to Real Estate Short Sales. You know, for a limited time, get a free copy of this $37 ebook, learn how to avoid foreclosure. Just go log on to my website or call my toll-free number. I'm a certified short sale advisor, right? Read these nice testimonials. You know, read all the things you're going to learn inside this book, like why your lender will help you sell your home even if you owe more than it's worth, right? And let you walk away, right, with credit intact for free. You know, the 4 critical questions that they're going to have, you better know how to answer. Like, this is on the reverse side of my property flyers. That's a great way to leverage my inventory, right? So let's circle back here for a minute, you guys. 3 purposeful communications to 50 advocates, your A team, every 30 days, right? Newsletter, a little handwritten note in the middle of the month, and a phone call, right? Letting them know how to help you, Right now, I need more inventory. Inventory is really skinny. I know you know people, you know. All right, that's good for 2 referrals a month. 50 new face-to-face relationships every 30 days with homeowners in default will produce 2 listings per month on average. By applying concentrated leverage to those 4 transactions, drilling down if they're a buyer, right? Leveraging that listing when you get the listing, getting all the neighbors over there, right? Have an open house, meeting, greeting, have a good tools. Right? You can reasonably expect to net an additional 1 to 2 or more referrals during the course of those transactions. Right? That's a real estate practice. So now's a great time for questions, you guys. I told you this was going to take a little bit longer, but this is sort of, my first time having this conversation with you guys, so it went a little bit quicker. Now's a great time. If you have questions, in the upper right-hand corner, you've got that little orange arrow you guys can click on. Otherwise, get ready to write down my phone number. All right, so my name's Chris. There's my email address, right? It's chris@theshortsalecoachingclub.com, right? And there's my toll-free number. And I invite you guys, I'm not going to sell you anything. I invite you guys to call me up. Call me up and learn how I can help you start growing your business, right? Call me up and learn how I can help you grow your practice. You're a broker and you want more agents, call me up. Let's talk about that, right? You're free to call me up and talk to anything you want about real estate related. Okay, and if I don't pick up the phone, I'll call you back, and I'd love to talk to you because that's what I do all day. I talk, and in the process, I learn a lot, and you know what I do is just regurgitate it right back onto you guys. So do call because I want to talk to you, and that's it. Questions. So I'm going to take a little circle through the question parking lot, see what kind of questions you guys have. So what is HARP, HAMP, HAFA? Well, HARP is Home Affordable Refinance Program. That's a government refi program that allows people that have been making their mortgage payment, even though they owe more on their home than it's worth, to refinance their home. Okay, that's a new program. HAMP is the Home Affordable Modification Program, loan mods, and HAFA is the government's short sale program. So you definitely want to get up to speed on that stuff because you're going to have to talk about that stuff. And can you go back to that note? Hey, David, thanks for. I'm glad that you came by today, David. Thanks for that, Stephanie. I got that. Thanks for that. Good stuff. Good. So, you guys, I've recorded this webinar, and so if you want to, come back and get it later, so you can just save it and watch it again, I'd love to email it to you. Right? Not hard to do. So you can send me a little email at Chris@theshortsalecoachingclub and say, hey, please do, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the video so you can watch it at your convenience. Okay, and here's a real nice comment here. It says, I feel bad when speaking to the NOD homeowner that I know they're behind, right? They seem embarrassed and wondering how I know. Any suggestions to deal with that profile, and have you heard any good ideas on how to deal with language barrier with NOD prospects? Yes. Okay, let's talk about that, you guys, and let's have even just the beginnings of a greater conversation. I had a conversation with a realtor yesterday who was, quite frankly, kind of burned out. And he was at a place where he was just looking at, like, real estate was just transactions, right? And like, I need a deal, I need a transaction, like trying to get meat off of somebody else's plate rather than put meat onto somebody's plate. And right now, here's what you need to understand, how to talk to these people, right? They need your help. Upside down homeowners are silently begging to be led, right? They're silently screaming for help, right? They need it. and you go out there 1 to 5 visits it's going to take to get them at the front door. When you finally do close escrow and you get their home short sold and them moving on down the road, you know what they're going to be thinking if they don't say it out loud? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm glad you didn't give up on us after knocking on our door the first time. I'm glad you came back 5 times and finally got us, because thank you, right? This is the way. And you know, we couldn't have done it without your help, right? And they need your help, right? They're silently begging for it. So first of all, how do you talk to them? You have to go out there with that mindset. You have to have your heart, right? You have to lead with a giving hand. You have to have something for them, and you have to let them know, hey, folks, listen, my name's Chris Sylveta. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm in the neighborhood, meeting the neighbors, and you know, I wanted to put a couple of these things in your hand and get out of your hair. And this is a book I put together, and you know, it may or may not apply to you guys, right? You could say that if you just want to pretend you're working in the neighborhood and you don't know they're upside down, or you can go out to the house and you can say, hey, listen, I'm glad you answered the door. You guys are on the list. You know, you could even have lists. You guys are on the list, and like a lot of other folks in this neighborhood, you have a decision to make. You know, I know you guys are upside down on this house like everybody, right? That's what I always say, like everybody around here. It's so many people, right? Which is like, hey, it's not just you, right? So, you know, when you communicate, you have to communicate with compassion, because what they see at first, because they're looking through their own window. We all have like a window in front of us, a window to the world, and we don't all looking through the same window, believe me, right? Believe me. Everybody, their window with their reality, their world reality, everybody's is different. But most people looking through their window at you at their door, what they see is somebody who stands to make a lot of money off of their lost dreams, right? That's what you are. And so you have to show them that you're more than that. You want to do that with your words right away. You know, and people have built-in BSO meters, right? They know, like, if you can help them. And so, listen, prospects pursued run away. So how do you talk to them? You talk right away about all of their options, all of their options. Listen, you guys have options. They're all free, right? Deed in lieu, loan modification, the HARP government, you know, the 2.0 refi program. If you guys looked into those things, you know, I'm a realtor. I do short sales if it gets to that. But, okay, right, start that conversation immediately. Right, I can help you with that stuff, right? You guys, and you know, if you're using my tools, you could, right? But you don't have to use my tools to be able to help them with that stuff anyhow, right? So I hope that, you know, you're right. So that dialogue at the door, it's everything, right? And so there's 2 ways you can play that. Like I have agents that just go out there working their farm area. They're knocking on every door, upside down or not, right? Hey, how's it going? I'm in the neighborhood. Just wanted to meet the neighbors. Put a few of my cards in your hand. Get out. Well, what are these? Hey, thanks for it's a book I put together. This may or may not apply to you guys, but I know you know people here in our neighborhood. And can I ask you to think about who? Oh, okay, great. If it applies to them, bingo. If it doesn't, they know someone, right? So that's just if you're working your farm, you're working every door, right? If you're specifically targeting NODs, like we just talked about, then you're going to have that bigger conversation, which is, listen, I know you guys are. I know where you're at with this property, like so many other people around the neighborhood. And I've been helping a lot of our neighbors, and I think I can help you guys too. Have you guys looked into a loan modification or the HARP 2.0 government refi program yet? Right, that's a great question. Have you guys looked into a loan mod or the HARP government refi? Yeah, we have. The loan mod's not going. Oh, okay. Right, that's a great way to start that dialogue. Great way to start that dialogue. And then, listen, your friends, why can't you call your friends and say, hey, listen, I need your help. Right now, inventory is really skinny. I'm working with some great buyers, but I'll tell you what, it's so frustrating. We've got to write 15 offers just to get one accepted. And, you know, it's frustrating for me and for them. And what I need more than anything right now is inventory. And I know you know people, right? I know you know people. And you probably don't know people right now on the phone, but when we hang up or tomorrow, you might think about someone who's going to sell. And even if they owe more in their home, I can help them, right, for free. So the next, you know, they're going to sell in the next 6 to 12 months. I'd love to get connected with them, Scott. So can you? Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for the call, Chris. By the way, how's it going? Like, that's your business, you guys, to the people who know you, right? And by the way, your newsletter looks great this month. I got the nut, right? That's what you want to be doing. So good questions. And yeah, you guys can learn all about this stuff and my stuff at the shortsalecoachingclub.com. You can poke around, look at tools and whatnot. And so with that, I think I answered a couple questions with that. And you guys, thank you for your time. I hope you got some great ideas today. And again, if you want the link to this so you can just come back and refresh your memory and watch it anytime you want, just send me an email over to Chris@theshortsalecoachingclub.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link. Okay, go do good work.